Hi, it's Sil and Diana from Wild Hearts, and today we're diving in deeper to our courage at looking at shame. Like how I turned that around discussion, and we're going to start off. Diana is going to give you a little insight by a story that she's going to share with you about herself.
Okay, and I just want to touch on what you just said. Courage, it does take courage to share your story, because that shame is something that, like we talked about before with the quote from Brene Brown, it's something that we've kept quiet. That's the only way that shame can be shame, is if it's something that's been kept quiet because we were afraid of bringing it out. And so for me, I'm just going to share what thousands, perhaps millions of women have experienced. When I was a child, my stepfather, from the time, well, to be honest with you, I can't even remember. My mom married him when I was in 4th grade, and then he was in my life until I left the home. So he sexually molested me. I never told a soul until I was in my 30s. So what kept me quiet was the shame I felt, the shame that it was my fault, the shame that if somebody found out about it, they wouldn't like me. They would think I was disgusting. And so I held on to that, and it shaped who I was and how I behaved and how I acted, the kind of parent I was, the kind of friend I was, the shame I felt. I never told anyone. Could you imagine going through a traumatic experience, every week in your home, sometimes every day for some people, and as a child, and not understanding anything about it, and
Not
internalizing.
The people that you trust the most in the world, you didn't feel like you could go to try to process it.
Yeah, and I'm not sure why I chose not to tell people, especially my mom, because I can remember at one point when I was 15 or 16, she point blank asked me, and I looked her in the eye and I told her no, nothing was happening, because I could not take on that responsibility of the aftermath, what would happen, or how my mom would feel about me. I had already built up a story after many years of this happening of what it was going to look like, and I was not ready to face them.
Yeah.
So shame comes in many forms, and for so many of us, that women and some men too, this is a terrible epidemic that happened most, for women in my generation and after, and I'm grateful that it's kind of out in the open now. And like me and lots of other women, we said to our daughters, you can always tell me anything, you don't have to be afraid of any, I was not going to allow that to go on, because they say it stays in generations and goes on, and I know that for me, I put a stop to it at that point. But and now it's out in the open. We talk about it openly, and it takes the shame out. It gives people, young girls, the power to go to mom or dad or whoever and say this is happening, and feel confident that they're going to be safe. Yeah. So that's my story of shame, and I know that there's going to be some of you out there who that resonates with, and we may go deeper sometime in the future. Yeah. We'll see.
And having been Diana's friend for a long time, that the amount of courage it has to take to be able to talk about it, especially when you hadn't talked about it for so long. I don't know at first that it was freeing. I think over time, you working through it and doing all of your other work, you have become free of it. Mm-hmm. But if it even gets anybody thinking, this is the path that I need to take, I need to be able to step out there and speak it, we're behind you 100%, and wishing you all the good luck that we can. We thank you for watching us, and hope that you have a remarkable day. And remember, world,
love is all there is.
Love is all there is. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you.